And here's the last one. I love this one. And go to verse 65. You have dealt well with your servant, O Lord, according to your word. Now, a little bit earlier, I talked to you about word. In fact, that was the fifth one in verse 11. This is a completely different Hebrew word. This does not speak of the written revelation. This speaks of the voice. It's a whole different. See, the Hebrew language, when we say word, we aren't sure if it's written or spoken. They could tell the difference by the word that's used in the text. And what he says here is, in 65th verse, he said, you've dealt well with me, O Lord, according to your word. What he's saying is, I have been hearing your divine voice. You have walked me all through life. It reminds me, do you remember, we forget so quickly, but do you remember some of the stories about the World Trade Center? 911? Do you remember when they interviewed people and said, how did you get out of there? And I remember so clearly watching that, all of us did, it's just so emotional and everything. And I remember one group saying, well, we hit the exit doors and smoke was billowing up and it looked like fire. But we heard a voice in the dark and in the smoke saying, follow me, come this way. And those firemen were faithfully guiding people down the steps, and the crowd was stampeding and people were going up the steps. And that voice was saying, don't go up, go down. Follow me, go down, go down. And I thought about that moment, and it's so much like, especially a lot of young people feel like life is that fire exit. It's confusing and smoke, and they don't know which way to go. And the crowd's going this way, and there's this voice saying, no, go this way, go this way. And what he's saying in the 65th verse is that you can hear the divine voice that walks you all the way through life. In fact, Isaiah 30:21 says that God promises that we will go through life and we will hear His voice saying, this is the way, walk in it. And you say, how do you get that? Do you wear an earpiece? Do you have to have a service contract? Can you have, No, we're not talking about a cell phone. We're talking about this book. And in fact, 24 times this Hebrew word, the divine voice, is used in this psalm. And what it tells us is that God wants to write upon our hearts and record upon us His voice. So that when we get into a situation, when we don't know what to do, we cry out to Him, and His Word comes into our minds, and it is the voice of God reminding us of His revelation, what He has revealed, of His plans, His specs, His judgments, His statutes, His testimonies. He has said, I know how to live life. I know your beginning. I know what you're here for. I know where you're headed. And I want to guide you through life. I don't want you to ever be on your own. I don't want you to ever wonder where you're supposed to be. I will be the divine voice guiding you through all the stampede and smoke and danger of life so you get to the right destination. It's the most beautiful picture of what God wants, because there's a book within the books by the author of all the books that describes what God wants to do with this book in our lives. And 217 times with 11 different synonyms or descriptive terms, God tells us, number one, I want you walking the divine path. Number two, I want you listening to my divine witness. Number three, I want you following my divine directions for life. Number four, I want you obeying my divine orders on your captain. Number five, I want you to read the divine word. It contains my will. Number six, I want you to receive the divine instructions. I'm the ultimate teacher, and I give perfect instructions. Number seven, I want you to build your life on the unchanging decrees. They are my divine decisions about life, and they're always true. Number eight, I want you to be practicing the divine condition of fearing me so that your life won't burn away at the judgment seat. Number nine, I want you acting upon my divine righteousness. It will balance your life out. You know what my heart is. Number 10, I want you using my divine plans. I want you to build to spec. And you can have the ultimate life, not just one that's not out of joint. You can have the ultimate life if you follow my specs. And number 11, I want you to hear my divine voice. And I will walk you all the way through life. And when you get to the end of the life, you can dwell in my house forever. That's what He offers to us.